What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 1 match for Red. Season 8 in the Yellow Division. We're taking on TB and the Vancouver Milotics this week. If you haven't seen the team builder, feel free to check it out. It's not really a huge deal if you don't, but I'll recap my sets here really quickly. But let's run through his team first. So he's got Mega Gallade, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Arcanine, Dragonite, Amoonguss, Jirachi, Blaziken, Electrode, Claydol, and Whirlipede. I wasn't expecting the Dragonite or the Whirlipede here, so I was a little bit surprised to see both of them. We don't see the Amoonguss, which I was definitely expecting. I hard overprepped for Amoonguss. You guys saw in the team builder, I switched out Magic Guard for Overcoat on the Reuniclus last second, and I see Whirlipede now. So I'm really worried about the Hazard stack, because obviously I didn't bring any removal. I was really scared of the Amoonguss, and so I didn't bring the Rotom-Mow. And he actually didn't bring either of the Fire types either. So Rotom-Mow would have had a much better matchup this game, and I would have been able to get off a Defog at some point. Would have been able to take on the Fini, which I struggle against mightily. So, in terms of what I'm bringing, we have a Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Counter, Rocks, Mega Aggron, fully physically defensive. Keldeo is Scarf with Icy Wind, Hidden Power, Poison. I swapped that out last second to hit the Fini over the Hidden Power Electric, just so that I would get some damage off, and I wouldn't be locked into Hidden Power Electric against the Mamoswine. Surf, Icy Wind, Secret Sword, HP Poison. Entei's AV with Flame Charge, Sacred Fire, Stone Edge, Iron Head, I believe. Iron Head for the Mamoswine, just in a pinch. Yeah. No, Stomping Tantrum maybe. Stomping Tantrum, I think, actually, to hit the Arcanine and the Blaziken. Garchomp is banded with Earthquake, Outrage. Not sure where I'm going with this one, actually. Earthquake, Outrage, Poison Jab, Dragon Claw. There we go. So dual Dragon Stab, just because banded Outrage's roll to kill no bulk Dragonite. It's a roll to kill that. And then Reuniclus is there. Trick Room, Colbur with Overcoat. I forgot what Suicune, but Trick Room, Colbur Overcoat with Psychic. I did change it from Psyshock to Psychic because it hit everything better. Psychic, Shadow Ball, Trick Room, and Recover. But I changed it from Magic Guard to Overcoat, which we'll see that I'm going to regret later on in the game, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. Kuhn is Sub, Calm Mind, Scald, and Ice Beam. Kind of gets free setup against the Whirlipede, and that's the idea behind that. I know he's going to be Haze Fini coming into this game. There's no reason for him not to be. Otherwise, he just absolutely gets hard smashed by the Suicune. So he's got to have some check to it. Luckily, Fini doesn't get Recovery, so it can be worn down relatively quickly. So I'm just going to lead with the Kuhn because I see the Whirlipede, and we'll go through a bunch of turns here where he's just going to Spike Stack me. I'm going to get up a Sub and set up Calm Minds in front of his face. It's interesting to me that he led with the Toxic Spikes. I don't necessarily agree with that play just because he's got Misty Terrain. I think getting up triple layer of his regular spikes before he died makes a lot more sense instead of the T-Spikes, because my entire team is grounded, and T-Spikes won't activate with the Misty Terrain. Might have just been an oversight and whatnot. Obviously, +2 Skull does a lot to him, and I burn him. He gets the speed boost off, but he's just going to go for the final layer. So I decided I was fine with him going for the final layer as long as I could kill off the Whirlipede there. Fini comes in here. I'm going to set up Calm Mind on it, and it turns out that he's actually speed tying me as well. I am running max speed Kuhn, so I wanted to see what would go on there, and so I'm just going to continually set up Calm Mind until I sort of like win a speed tie here. He goes for the Nature's Madness to finally break my sub. I go for another Calm Mind, so I'm a +2 Kuhn in his face, but I get to sub on him as he goes for Haze. I'm actually pressure stalling out his Hazes and his Nature's Madnesses fairly well here, as in comes the Jirachi on my Calm Mind. Last turn of Misty Terrain though, so pretty risky because now he can get burnt by the Scald, but we see that he is running a little bit of speed at least. His U-turn doesn't break my my sub though. And 17% from a +1 Kuhn to the Fini is not really what I expected, but it's something, I guess. I'm just going to keep going for damage here. This is actually quite a long turn of events here, as it's Kuhn in against the world, essentially. He doesn't have a great way of dealing, like, Fini is his best way to deal with Kuhn. So if I can, like, PP stall out the Kuhn, or the Fini from Nature's Madness at the very least, then he stops being able to deal with my Kuhn. He's not going to miss a single one this entire game, unfortunately for me, because that would have helped a little bit at the very least. But now his Misty Terrain goes down, and he goes into Jirachi, which I thought was strange that he wouldn't have done that earlier. He finally gets a trick off. I get the idea is that he would do that while I'm not behind his sub, but he gets his Jirachi burnt for it, and so now his Jirachi is completely worthless. Granted, it didn't have a great matchup in the first place. I kind of imagining that the only reason he actually brought Scarf was to trick it onto my Coon, just because it doesn't do a lot against my team, you know? Yeah, I am inner focus Entei, just for the Jirachi. So he's getting some good chip on my Coon off, but I'm just going for straight damage at this point. Obviously, I've tricked the Scarf, so I'm going for Scald over and over and over again, as he is going to bring in the Gallade here, which is also strange to me, because I'm a Scarf Coon. So he's going to claim his kill, but he's, again, risking the Scald burns over and over and over again. Oh well, let's pause it there. So Coon's finally out. You know, Coon stays in for 23 turns. It's weakened the Finny to 64%, which I'm also okay with. At a certain point, Keldeo kind of just wins to an extent. Clicking Surf, it depends on the Dragonite set. But Keldeo can absolutely just click Surf relatively freely against most mons there. Excuse me. Whew. Yeah, so Finny being weakened is good. Jirachi, extremely weakened and burnt, and Gallade is very weakened. So I'm going to go to my Reuniclus here. We see the knockoff, so I'm confident that he does not have X-Scissor, and that he would have knockoff for Reuniclus over X-Scissor. So my Colbur Berry is going to come in clutch here, and I'm just going to set up a Trick Room in his face here. As he goes for the knockoff, knocks off my Colbur Berry. Not a huge deal to me. Obviously, having Overcoat right here kind of sucks, because A, I took a bunch of hazard. I took 26% on entry, plus I'm Toxicked. And then I make a weird play and I go for Psychic instead of Shadow Ball. So Shadow Ball would have actually killed here. It was never not going to kill this, and I calced that. And for some reason in game I misplayed and clicked Psychic. I wasn't thinking, probably because I just sat through 23 turns of having Suicune in. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this besides the fact that it was a misplay, because Psychic didn't kill here and Shadow Ball would have. I'm in a much better position if I don't click Psychic. And the reason behind that is Reuniclus basically gets another kill if that happens, but instead he goes for Encore, and Encore's being a Psychic. So I'm not super thrilled about that, because it does mean while his Jirachi is going to essentially go down here, he's going to be able to kill me with this U-turn, and my Reuniclus was locked into Psychic of all things. So Gallade comes out. I go for my Aggron here. I was considering going for Rocks. He can't kill me with anything. I'm fully physically defensive. So he's actually not killing me with a close combat at all. I have like 600 defense. And I thought about just clicking counter, but I'm actually just going to claim my kill under Trick Room here with Heavy Slam. Because I also thought about getting up Rocks for the Dragonite. It's super annoying. In comes the Dragonite now, and I'm going to click Heavy Slam as he just sacks his Jirachi. I also was considering going for Rocks there, but it didn't make sense when the Dragonite can just set up on me. It actually would have been fine, because +1 Dragonite Earthquake doesn't two-shot me, and I definitely could have gotten a counter off. So I probably should have gone for Rocks instead, but oh well. In comes the Finny here, and I'm just going to get my Rocks up now, I believe, on the Nature's Madness. Again, what I meant about him not missing any Nature's Madnesses, we'll see that this is going to bite me in the ass later on. But my Rocks are up for the Dragonite, so multi-skill is broken. Mamoswine's chipped, and he shows that he's Hydro Pump as one of his moves. I was definitely expecting it to be Moonblast, but Chomp comes in. I thought a little bit too long about this play. Obviously, I don't have a great way to deal with this Finny, so I'm not sure what he's thinking with this play. I never actually asked him about this play in particular, but I am Banded Garchomp, which two-shots his entire team, and so the risk here is that the Dragonite can come in on my Banded Earthquake, and so I thought about just clicking Poison Jab. It's not going to do a lot to the Dragonite. It's not going to do a lot to the Mamoswine either, but I am just going to flat out click Earthquake, because there's kind of no way... there was almost no downside, and then he's going to bring in Mamo to revenge kill me in quotations. So I'm fairly confident this Earthquake just kills the Mamoswine, and so I'm just going to go for it, because realistically I don't see a reason not to. That's just kind of where I'm going with it, but I don't really see a reason not to just click Earthquake here. So I'm trying to sack my Garchomp to get in my Keldeo. I can click Surf against this. It kills this. I go into he goes Dragonite. I hard swap into Entei, try for a Sacred Fire Burn, die, whatever I need to do. As long as he doesn't get to +2, my Keldeo can kill it with Icy Wind after the Rocks damage, and I just win the game from there. So my goal is to click Earthquake against this Entei, or sorry, Mamoswine, and he stays in. He's max HP, and so he lives. Max HP Mamo is a scary boy. I would guess that maybe he was banded as well, considering he was slower than me. So he's obviously not scarfed. He didn't go for the Ice Shard because he didn't want to be locked into it if I wanted to swap into Keldeo on the Ice Shard. And so he's probably trying to catch the Keldeo or the Entei switching in to the Ice move there. Considering that he definitely thought I was Scarfed Garchomp. So looking back on this, right, maybe I should have sacked the Entei here. Entei didn't beat either of these. I was keeping Entei around to get a burn from Sacred Fire on the Dragonite. And how this endgame plays out, that may have been wrong of me. Maybe I should not have done that. And maybe instead, I should have sacked the Entei, gone Keldeo, and clicked Icy Wind. So Icy Wind would have killed this, and then I could have killed the Dragonite and won 2-0. And that would have been a solid, safe set of plays for me. But instead, I sacked the Garchomp to the Earthquake, and banded Garchomp would have been able to obliterate this Dragonite. And I wouldn't really have to worry about the Mamoswine all that much either. So now, however, I am going to go into Entei. I'm protected from the T-Spikes, and I get a Flame Charge off to get me to +1 speed. So now I'm going to outspeed the Dragonite for sure, even if he Dragon Dances, and I'm just going to click Sacred Fire against this. I could have clicked Stone Edge, but I was just going for the burn here with Sacred Fire. He's going to show off the Roost, so he's kind of a weird Dragonite set, not really what I expected at all. And I'm going to get the burn now, I think. Yeah, so we get the burn on the second try. Not bad, not bad. Now it's all about me hitting Stone Edges to kill this thing. And there's the first miss. Now he's going to click Roost, I believe, on this turn. I missed the second one, as he does click Roost. So, again, he clicked Extreme Speed this turn. If I hit both of these Stone Edges, I win the game. I do. I win the game, or I can hit one Stone Edge, and we saw how much the Sacred Fire was doing with him not at multi-scale range. It was doing 25% not at multi-scale range. So if I hit one Stone Edge from the percent that he was at, that was fine. You know, he's never going to have multi-scale up with the burn anyways. But realistically, he told me after the match, you know, the Stone Edge misses didn't matter. But rewatching this, they definitely mattered. These two Stone Edge misses mattered. The third one does not. The third one does not because he was just waiting for it here. He actually crits me with Extreme Speed as I actually missed the third Stone Edge there. So, you know, it doesn't really matter because even though I hit this one and I pop his weakness policy here, and even though he clicks Roost this turn, he still picks me off with an Extreme Speed. So again, he's right. The third one doesn't matter. The first two absolutely do matter. But in comes Keldeo, and here I can secure the game here by just clicking Icy Wind. So there's no reason for me not to just click Icy Wind. Had I run Hidden Power Ice over Icy Wind, this game is a fucking hell of a lot easier, and I just win right here. But instead, I'm going to fucking miss an Icy Wind right here, and he's going to Roost up to full. And so the problem now is that he's some weird bulky Dragonite set, and I'm going to miss a second one, by the way, and he's just going to win the game. So, yeah, I'm a little bit pissed that I lost this game. I'll be real with you guys. I am recording this, you know, I took a while. I took like an hour after this match before I recorded this, but rewatching this got me mad again. I'm mad at myself for running Overcoat over Magikarp. I don't know what I was thinking. I really thought Amoonguss was going to come, and he told me he didn't even consider it. Amoonguss actually had a really good matchup against me, especially as sort of like a Calm Mind stopper against like Clefable and Suicune. It kind of just 1v1s both of those fairly easily, and I'm really surprised he didn't consider it. It's a Keldeo wall, it's a Rotom Mow wall. It just basically walled 4 of my Mons by itself, and it didn't even show up. So I was really concerned about that. This Dragonite set was super whack. He told me it was Iron Tail Flamethrower. So I'm guessing it was like Agility, Iron Tail Flamethrower, Extreme Speed? No, sorry, it was Roost. Yeah. So Roost, Iron Tail, Extreme Speed, Iron Tail, Flamethrower, Roost, Extreme Speed. There we go. So Iron Tail obviously there for the Clefable at +2. It should kill. It's a 75% roll to kill my Clefable though, instead of just a Dragon Dance Z fly set that would beat me at +1. So I was really confused by some of his prep. You know, Hazard Stack does look good on me on paper because my only removal is Rotom Mow, but I have Clefable and Reuniclus, which are both standard Magikarp users. So it's kind of a little bit weird that I get Hazard Stack game 1. You know, I was expecting to get Hazard Stack at some point during the season. I definitely was not expecting Amoonguss to be swapped out for Whirlipede here. You know, if there's an Amoonguss on this team is a hell of a lot scarier against me. And Whirlipede just didn't make a whole lot of sense against me, especially since it was kind of just free setup for the Coon right off the bat. I did not care whatsoever about Finny coming in to haze me. Chip on the Finny was fantastic for my team. Fantastic for my late game. Entei had a decent matchup to me. And so Finny being weakened means that Entei, you know, can go off a little bit more. Alternatively, I could have just led Banded Chomp and claimed kills. So there was a lot going on there. Again, the Magic Guard and Reuniclus really sucked, and me misclicking and clicking Psychic over Shadow Ball. Sorry, that was not a misclick. I don't misclick. I don't like that excuse, by the way. Misclicking is really weird to me when you have all the time to think about it. How you can click on the wrong move is beyond me. I purposefully clicked Psychic, and it was the wrong choice. That was a misplay, not a misclick. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. You know, the first two Stone Edge misses really sucked. I don't know. I was not expecting to hit a Stone Edge. It's an 80% accurate move anyways. I was expecting to hit the goddamn Icy Wind. I feel robbed. You know, TB, we played a great game. Like, this was a really fun one, and it was going to come down to a 1-0 either way in that scenario. I obviously outlined the way where I could have 2-0'd this game just by clicking Outrage with Garchomp, swapping out into Entei, sacking it, going Keldeo, clicking Icy Wind at that point. You know, because the Flame Charge from Entei killed that Mamoswine, I would imagine the Icy Wind killed, but I probably would have had to calc it. Either way, I probably could have just clicked Surf. Doesn't really matter all that much. You know, based on his Dragonite moveset, he actually just can't kill Garchomp somehow. Some way, he just can't kill Garchomp. And so I would have been able to go into Garchomp and click Outrage, which again would have been able to kill the Dragonite, and even if it didn't, Keldeo wouldn't be able to come in. I live the +2 E-Speed. Even if he's not burnt, I live the +2 E-Speed, and if I hit the Icy Wind there, it still ends in the same scenario. So, you know, there's a lot of scenarios here where it ends in a 1-0 for me, but unfortunately, the only one where it doesn't is the one where I miss 5% of the time. So, sucks to suck, I guess, and I'll be back for Week 2. Week 2, we take on my good pal Nacho and his Detroit Terrabolts. Keep an eye out for that, and I'll catch you guys later.